Bar for bar album reviews, T. Carrier and Rob Woods, It's All in Good Taste. It's All in Good Taste is the latest collaborative project from Bay Area artists Rob Woods and T. Carrier, and comes in at a total runtime of about 20 minutes with 6 tracks. So it's definitely a quick listen, and you honestly have no excuse not to listen to it. In terms of what we get on the project, production-wise, everything feels luxurious and about the finer things in life, which is, makes sense given the title of the project, It's All in Good Taste, and the cover art being pretty luxurious in nature as well, and then also because the project is powered by Purple Luxury Club. So there's a lot of things really pushing for that. But aside from this feeling of luxury and, the finer things in life, we get a few major topics that they talk about throughout the project, which starts off with the track Thankful. Throughout this track, they pretty much talk about how all these things that they've gone through in their lives thus far have gotten them to where they are now. Like, yeah, things have been rough, and it's, when you're in it, it sucks. But after going through all of that and looking back, you're like, yo, I wouldn't change anything, because at the end of the day, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm like this. This is what made me who I am. And, it just makes sense. As an intro, it is an interesting start, but it does make sense because, not everyone has heard of these two. And by, giving you some information, you know a little bit more about them. I would say that this is also a very solid option for an outro. However, the actual outro and Vogue is pretty solid as well, and honestly probably fits an outro a little bit better. After Thankful, we get Gucci Guilty, which kind of carries on a similar theme. So it's a really good follow-up to Thankful. And here, instead of them being, like, I guess, thankful for everything they've gone through, it's more of a flex. Like, we get a bit of the thankfulness, but also, like, look at me now, sort of thing. And also through the track, they both acknowledge that, there's a lot of people faking it. Like, yeah, both T and Rob may be in a position where, they can afford nicer things. They can actually flex and talk about the things that they have now. But, there's a lot of other artists out there who just say they have it, but do they actually? Probably not. I mean, how many times have you heard of a rapper renting out Lambos for a music video? I mean, I feel a pretty common thing where, these guys are being genuine. They're not just making anything up. And then also just the chorus that goes, finally living, no longer just surviving, makes perfect sense because, you've been through a whole lot of things and now you're like, you know what? I can actually enjoy life. I'm not just living to make it to the next day. I'm just being in the moment, sort of thing. After this, we get into So in Love, which is an interesting track because right out of the gate, it's like we have them talking about relationships because all they see when they go on IG and social media in general is all these happy couples. But throughout the track, they also both acknowledge, like, maybe that's not what I want right now. Maybe, like, in the future, but right now I'm gonna, do my thing. I'm gonna get around. But I guess it's also a good reminder that what we see on social media is not necessarily what is reality. A lot of times people only post the good things on social media, so, we have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt. And then towards the end of the track, or at least how the track ends, it might get a little bit real for some people because Rob ends the track saying, like, yo, I'm just trying to stack my money, focus, and basically just be a plant dad, which are all these things that he connects to what you're supposed to do when you don't have a significant other. And then it just kind of trails off there. So, a little bit real, to say the least. After this, they go into Who You With, which I took as more of them, just being real. They're being their genuine selves. Like, there's all these people, again, that are faking what they got, but on the other hand, they're just there. They're just being themselves. They don't have to pretend they're someone else. It also may feel like a little bit of a flex, at least that's how I took it, because, you get the, oh, this is how you moving, this is who you with right now? You sure you don't want to come with us and see what we doing? Sort of thing. Continuing this theme, I guess, or idea of them being their genuine selves, we got How I'm Coming, which is pretty straightforward again. It's just they've always been this way. They've always been focused. They've always been trying to be business oriented, I guess. And everything that they're doing shouldn't be a surprise to them. It's not like they've switched up and turned into someone else. Like if you come up to them, they're like, and you're like, oh, why are you acting all different? Like, they're just like, no, this is what we've been doing. What are you talking about? We're gonna do what we want to do our way, and that's exactly how they're coming. The album wraps up with En Vogue, like I mentioned earlier, and it features a really great chorus from Zaya Bell. Overall, it carries on the same themes of Braggadocio, but also acknowledging all their accomplishments that they've gone through in their lives thus far. And at the end of the day, they're outside. They're enjoying themselves. They're there for people. They can go visit family. They can be with their friends. Like anything that they need to do, they can get done because they're outside. But as an outro to the project, it is really solid because it takes in pretty much everything they've rapped about thus far and just it puts it all together in one neat little package. And I guess if you were only to take away one track from this album as like the main thing to listen to, it would be En Vogue. Because, like I said, it encapsulates everything they just said in the last like 15 to 16 minutes. Overall, this project was really solid. It's a very quick listen, like I have mentioned. It's only like 20 minutes long, so you can definitely play it back multiple times to really feel it out and get a vibe to it. I definitely enjoy it, and honestly, I think the production is the thing that sells me the most on it because it feels almost like something that you would hear Rick Ross rap over, like that sort of luxurious, like these are the finer things, this is what I got going on sort of vibes. But then when you actually pay attention to the lyrics, you learn more about them. you get to learn who TKREA and Rob Woods are, and I think that's great, especially for people who may not be aware of them. My favorite tracks are honestly just everything, but if I had to only take away, let's say, 3 of them, as my favorite ones, that is, I would do Thankful, Gucci Guilty, and En Vogue. But yeah, that's all I've got for this review. I am totally looking forward to whatever both of them have coming, whether it's a collaborative project again or their solo projects. Either way, I'm anticipating it. Let me know what you thought about this album if you've listened to it. If you haven't, definitely check it out. Like I said, it's only about 20 minutes long. I mean, you got 20 minutes, I'm sure. But let me know what you thought. Also, like and subscribe if you want to see more content and reviews like this. Thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.